Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after a fun-filled weekend here on KRSchannel. Hope you guys enjoyed meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. And today we're going to start from our regular programming. However, before I start off my video on 10th Lord through houses, I wanted to kind of explain this particular series because this is actually the most wanted, needed, and talked about series in astrology since I started this series. Because everybody has this viewpoint of what 10th house is. So as always, before we get started with this video, if you want to know where your 10th Lord is placed and where other Lord through houses are, so you can go and check the meaning of this in my videos. For that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my other options there. So, 10th house. We're going to embark on 10th Lord through houses by tomorrow or something. So, 10th house, as people think, it's a house of career, and it's not. 10th house used to be the house of career because 10th house is the house of father. You did what your father did for a living. That's why it was career. Now, 95% of the people don't do what their father is doing. They're doing completely different. Sure, you will find people who are following their father's business and their father's work field, but it's different now. So 10th house, what it represents, it doesn't represent your work, it represents your work environment. It shows the kind of environment you're going to be working in. It shows the type of colleagues you will have. It shows the type of reputation you will have at your workplace and in society, because 10th house represents your society. Like when I walk outside the door, whoever's thinking whatever of me when they meet me the first time, that's what 10th house is. When they recognize me, it's a house of recognition, fame. And it is also a house of government, because this is originally controlled by the sign of Capricorn, which represents managing the government. So how is your relationship with the government? That is seen with the 10th house. Are you always getting in trouble with the government? Or are you gaining from the government, like getting your huge tax returns? That is 10th house. 10th house shows that, hey, the type of work that you're going to do will have to be done in this type of an environment. That's what 10th house is. So do not think that 10th house is your career, like you have Venus in the 10th house. Okay, a basic astrologer and most of these websites online on the internet will say a person will be in entertainment, person will be a fashion designer, an actor, a model, a singer. While the person is probably a software programmer. And all Venus is doing, showing that he'll have a pleasant work environment if Venus is in a good sign. And he'll be having a lot more female colleagues than male colleagues. And that's what it really represents. Now, Venus can show somebody in the entertainment business with Venus being in the 10th house. But other things have to be involved, which obviously you will find out when my magazine comes out in July, that is going to have everything about career. But before I want to get started, because I don't want to spend this much time on each video talking about 10th Lord through house. Okay, well, what is 10th house? It's not this, this, and this. I just want to do it now. So when we start, you guys have an idea that my 10th Lord in the 5th house doesn't mean I am going to be working with children, or I'm going to be, being an actor on a stage and showing creative self-expression. That only happens with support of other planets. So all these Lord through houses that we're going to do with the 10th house is simply going to show how your work environment affects you and different aspects of your life. It's going to show you how your relationship is with a father and what area of life did your father influence. And what type of the things you really learned with your father. Obviously, you have to look at sun for that too. The significator of father, which is sun, that will definitely tell you what is happening with the father. But 10th house definitely shows that how is fathers influencing you, because that's the house of father. How the government influences you in your life. What do you think of the government? How's your reputation being affected? Meaning that if 10th Lord is in the 7th house or 10th Lord is in the 6th house, how is your reputation is now being molded in your life? What are the things that you're going to do in this society, in this world, that is going to shape your fame in the world? Perhaps you're working with non-profit organization. Perhaps you're helping the unprivileged people, or you're a drug dealer and a criminal, and that's what your reputation is. That's what 10th house represents. So when I start my series of 10th Lord in the 1st house, I'm always going to refer to this video so you can come back and see exactly what 10th house is before you watch the other videos, because this is a pretty long explanation of 10th Lord, 10th, because remember, 10th house is that highest point in the sky. It is where the sun is at noon. This is why sun is very strong at noon, because everybody sees it. It's hot, it's warm, you're feeling the sun. So when somebody's 10th house is strong, shows you feel this person's work upon you. Whatever they're doing in life, you sense it, you know that they're impacting the world in some way, or they're impacting you some way. Perhaps they're your boss, and your entire work life depends on pleasing them, or depends on how they interact with you. This is why it's one of the houses of fame, along with the 1st, 5th, 7th, and 10th. 1st house, 5th house, 10th house, and 7th house and 10th house are houses of fame. But 10th house is really the most strongest, because it is out there, up there in the sky. So when you walk out, you see the stars, you see the moon, you see the sun, you see all the other planets coming over the horizon. So it just shows that somebody's career will be very visible. They will be very much adamant about what they do. And wherever the 10th Lord is placed, that's how your work environment is going to affect that part of life. All right? So I hope this has helped, and we'll start from 10th Lord in the 1st house from tomorrow. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe wherever you see the subscribe button below, above, side. And again, if you want to know where your 10th Lord is placed and all the other astrological choices I have for that, check out the links here and check out my box and astrology report. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. My Lord is out.